Here we have a bowlback mandolin. This one had a little bit of an accident, so I re-glued the headstock, but I think it had a nice piece of wood to tie this all in. It was two pieces at one point and glued together with this not so great dovetail type thing. Maybe there was a piece chipped out when it broke off, but looks like it's definitely missing like some sort of volute attachment. We have some inlaid tuners to make a very sleek and beautiful rosewood faceplate of a headstock. And just look at that. It's tasty. This one was made by the Martin company back in the early 1900s. But yeah, and then we have Brazilian rosewood staves. Very small, thin pieces. There was a crack along here that's been reinforced. It's very structural, but I'm not a big fan of these mandolins because it's too much tension. The necks can get all wonky, a lot of tension, and because it broke already, I just tune it like this. Kind of like a little travel banjo. We've got an octave pair, and that's D. And then we've got the main singing string. And that's G. And get the next string is B and D. This also has the original bar frets. Some of them were still not playing great, but a majority of it is seated and not buzzy. The neck is incredibly straight for how old it is, so the action is really nice. But these types of instruments are kind of not great in sound. A lot of amazing aspects of the build though. The wood, the material, tip-top shape, but the sound of them and the comfortability of these backs make them not very popular. But that is a score for you, because if you're interested in older mandolin banjos or mandolins, you can really string them however you like. This one I traveled all through India with, so I wanted a smaller banjo I could put in my bag. Something loud enough. And I love vintage instruments, so this is an early 1900s mandolin banjo. I'm gonna put a pickup in it, but many times you'll find these with broken heads, so I stretched a new skin on it, and these are some cool strings I've had on it. I found a gut violin string when I was doing repairs, and it's held up for a very long time for the material, and I'm pretty sure it was old when I got it. So I don't play this very much, but it's a super cool little instrument to easily fit in your bag, and if you're interested in working on instruments, these you can get relatively cheap or free if you're lucky. sometimes you just see them as wall hangers. Nobody buys them really, just like art pieces, but they are functioning instruments if you just don't put the full tension mandolin strings on them. Yeah, I mean, the neck material is old mahogany. These tuners are all, you know, made by a machinist, and yeah, there might be some slippage because they're over 100 years old, but with this stringing method, you always have an extra tuning peg. That was another bonus. When I traveled, I went with this banjo right here, and the head broke at one point because, you know, this thing is huge. I would like take it apart and put it in my bag, but then I'm like always putting it back together if I wanted to play. So this one I could wrap in all my clothes and keep deep within my bag, and always have a nice little banjo to play when I have some downtime. But yeah, so getting these, you get used to working on older instruments, you see what issues can happen. I mean, frets are always a thing, so they may pop out. You might gotta glue them back in, but yeah, overall these instruments are very well made, especially considering, you know, I'm sure you're gonna buy some cheap thing that was made the other day, and bad materials, bad craftsmanship. In the long run, you'll probably spend more getting that fixed, replacing that, than just buying one of these, spending some time with it, and bringing it into the future of a travel stringed instrument. If you need any help, or if you find any online, want some ideas, send me a message, and we can help figure out how to make that instrument something for you to travel with.